Investigators say that a Prescott man tried to start a race war ahead of November's election by carrying out a mass shooting targeting black people. New court records are showing how the months-long investigation played out. 12 News journalist Jonathan McCall spent the afternoon reading through these documents. And Jonathan, what did you learn?
Yeah, Mark Prieto said he wanted to carry that attack out at a rap concert in Georgia because that's where he would find a high concentration of black people. Tonight we've learned that he even tried to recruit an FBI informant and an undercover agent. Tonight, federal court records are revealing how the FBI broke up a plot to stop a mass shooting. Back in October, the FBI says it began its investigation into Mark Prieto after a confidential informant who spoke with him more than a dozen times over 3 years at various gun shows said Prieto called for a mass shooting targeting blacks, Jews, and Muslims before the 2024 presidential election. During a January gun show in Phoenix, Prieto tried recruiting that informant and an undercover FBI agent. According to court records, Prieto wanted to carry the plan out in Georgia because, he says, when he was a kid, that was one of the most conservative states in the country. More specifically, Prieto wanted to carry out the attack at a rap concert because he said there would be, quote, a high concentration of African Americans. During a February meetup at a gun show, Prieto began offering details of the plan, including the number of guns to be used. During this meetup, Prieto sold that undercover agent a gun for $2,000 and said he would also like to use grenades during the attack because it can, quote, cause panic. At another gun show in March in Prescott Valley, Prieto provided more specific details. That attack would take place in Atlanta at State Farm Arena on May 14th or 15th. Performing that night was rapper Bad Bunny. During that gun show, Prieto sold an AR-15 rifle to that undercover agent for $1,000 and told them to, quote, bring as many magazines as the gun could carry. In the following weeks, agents continued to monitor Prieto's movements. During an April meetup, Prieto continued to fine-tune his plans, even discussing heading east to do reconnaissance, but emphasized the attack, quote, must happen prior to the election and as soon as possible. Authorities arrested Prieto back on May 14th as he crossed into New Mexico. Investigators say he had several guns in his truck, even more found at his home in Prescott while executing a search warrant.
And Jonathan, do we know what Prieto told investigators after he was arrested?
Yeah, Karibe, he told investigators that he actually admitted to those conversations with that confidential informant as well as that undercover agent, saying that they did interact with those conversations, but he said that he was not planning to carry out that attack. And instead, when he was headed east on Interstate 40, he was headed to Florida to take care of his mom. Mark Karibe.
All right. So, yeah, it's been a while. Since I posted something, man. I've been down in Miami and out of the country for about a week or so. So, yeah, I mean, you saw what this guy was trying to do in that video. I mean, you would think that if somebody didn't like a particular group of people, wouldn't it make more sense to stay away from them and leave them alone? And my thing is, why don't people like this ever go into some of the worst neighborhoods in this country and try to carry out those plans? They always seem to target places where they know people may not be armed. They look for the path of least resistance. I'm talking about places like churches, schools, movie theaters, and concerts. It's never places where there would be medium to high resistance. They're always looking for easy targets. And then this dude, he tried to recruit others, which to me, I mean, that would mean that he wasn't too confident in carrying out the plans on his own. So I don't know, maybe he was expecting some kind of resistance, but if you're that hell bent on carrying out your plans or agenda and standing on what you believe in, you don't need anybody's help or backup. And I don't think this guy did his research at all, because how did he come up with this equation where he figured black people plus Atlanta plus rap music equals a Bad Bunny concert? It doesn't make sense. But I mean, he's locked up now, but you have to remember that this is just one person. And you got to think about all the other people out there who haven't been caught and they believe in the same thing that this dude believed in. I mean, who else has he been selling guns to that shares his same sentiments before the FBI got involved? So, I mean, you got to think about that stuff. And I'm sure the FBI, they'll they'll go through his entire history, and who knows, maybe it'll uncover a much larger network or not. I mean, he could just be just some dumb hick walking around out here mad at the world because he's failed in life, and now he wants to blame everybody else for his failures. So, y'all stay safe, man. Keep your heads on the swivel, because I mean, there's just way too much madness going on around out here, especially around election times. I don't know what it is when it comes to these elections, and when elections come up in America. It's just something that just brings out the craziness. So, yeah, man, y'all watch y'all six, man. Peace.